Hey ladies and gentlemen, Steven here from Redolessence. Welcome back to another video. Thank you so much for joining me today. So today I'm actually at Perfumology in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. It's Mother's Day weekend, so I decided to come down here with my mother, of course, but also my wife, who is a mother, and our daughter. And of course, I had to stop by Perfumology because this is my favorite place to visit. If you've never been to Perfumology and you're in the Philadelphia area, I'm going to leave all the information down below to where you can check it out. Today, I'm actually going to be talking about 10 fragrances that I would recommend for the summertime if you want to sample them at Perfumology. And of course, you can always sample these fragrances online as well. I'm very excited to share my list with you, so make sure to stay tuned. Before I begin this list and I tell you about 10 fragrances that I would recommend for the summertime if you do happen to visit Perfumology in Philadelphia, or simply if you're on their website and you want to get samples of some of these fragrances, depending on how I describe them, if any of them resonate with you. I do want to mention first that if you are interested in fragrance-related content, if you like fragrance reviews here on YouTube, if you like top 10 videos just like this, or giveaways, unboxings, special guests, and more, please do consider supporting this channel by subscribing to it. All you have to do is click on that red button in the corner. And of course, while you're at it, please be sure to enable notifications by clicking on the bell icon. This way, whenever I do put out these videos, they will get delivered straight to your feed. You never have to worry about missing any of my future uploads. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the list. The first fragrance I want to talk about is by the company Eccentric Molecules, and this is one of their newest ones. So this is from the M Plus collection, and this is M Plus Mandarin. So I actually did an interview with the perfumer Geza. I'm going to leave the link to it up here, or the card I should say, if you are interested in checking it out. And he talks about the Mandarin raw material that he used in this fragrance. So you basically have Isoe Super in the base, which kind of has like this vetiver, cedarwood, pheromone-like effect, but you have this very natural smelling Mandarin in the top. It's really delightful. I personally love wearing this one in place of Molecule 01. And I think that because of the extra Mandarin, it has a certain pop to it. I can actually see myself getting more compliments with this one than I would from the original. The next fragrance that I want to recommend is Bohemian Lime by Goldfield and Banks. So if you like lime, if you like citrus ingredients, you are really going to enjoy this one. So it has this kind of verdant and woodsy presence in the base, but you have this very bright, fresh, citrusy, effervescent top to the fragrance that also makes it quite a bit of a compliment getter. And of course, throughout the course of this video, you're going to see a lot of citrus-based fragrances because that's sort of my thing, especially for the summertime. Love my citruses, love my aquatics. Bohemian Lime, one of the newer releases from the brand, not the newest one, but I personally am loving this fragrance. And as you can tell, people like sampling it here at Perfumology because the bottle is like 50% full. The next fragrance that I want to talk about is by Precious Liquid, and this one is called Mandarin, going back to the note of Mandarin. So the perfumer for this fragrance, Richard Herpen, is an amazing, incredible individual. He's composed Oud Wood by Tom Ford, many designer fragrances as well, and this is his expression of the note of Mandarin. I know he disclosed to me that he does use a lot of natural ingredients in his fragrances, and I was actually a little conflicted because for this list, I was thinking, do I feature Blue Agave, which I personally love wearing, very smooth, very professional, very elegant, but then there's also Mandarin, which there's no better season to wear it in except for the summer. And so now that the weather is starting to get a little bit warm outside, we're actually going to the Philadelphia Zoo tomorrow. I can see myself wearing something like this very comfortably, and it really just creates this appealing cloud around you where it sort of envelops you very warmly. I really love Mandarin. Next fragrance that I want to talk about, and this proves to you that it's not all citrus. I do have some aquatics in here. This one by Zoologist is called Squid. So I've reviewed this fragrance. I'm also going to leave a card to that up here. And I personally really enjoyed this one. It's salty. You have the ambergris. There's this oceanic component to it as well. But you also have a nice bit of citrus in the opening. The one thing that I can say about this fragrance is it's a very long-lasting aquatic. And so that's not something that one typically says about aquatic and citrus-based fragrances. They're known to last maybe 3-4 hours on your skin. They're quite ephemeral. In the case of this fragrance, though, it lasts a very long time on my skin. And I think I've echoed as much in my review of this fragrance. So solid pickup from the house of Zoologist. If you have a chance to check it out, this is one of the few that I would recommend for the summertime, and it is a great one. The next one that I want to talk about is by the brand Chris Collins. Yes, this one is called Tokyo Blue. So this is one that I've personally had in my collection for well over a year now. It's this really nice combination of violet and iris. You also have like this coriander note in there as well. Initially, it gave me the vibe of like a really expensive bar of soap or a body wash. It has this very well-groomed, clean, professional vibe about it. Of course, it is inspired by Tokyo. And this one has this very easy to wear, casual, but also formal vibe about it, where as soon as I smell it, I can imagine somebody just out and about running errands, but then I can also picture somebody in a very crisp suit and tie enjoying this one very comfortably as well. And so again, by Chris Collins, Tokyo Blue, fantastic fragrance to check out for the summertime. I know he has quite a lot of fragrances in his catalog now. I remember initially when it was just 3, when I had the pleasure of interviewing him in Manhattan, and now you see it expanded with an oud fragrance and Tokyo Blue, and I know he's always on the move, and so kudos to Chris. If you're watching this, you're doing an amazing job. Of course, what would summer be without Elysium by Roja Parfums? So this is citrus, clean florals, woods, very bright, one of the best bergamot notes that I've smelled in here. And I'm actually going to give an honorable mention to Neo by Xerjoff. And so Perfumology carries Xerjoff as well. So if you do happen to find yourself in Perfumology, or if you're just looking for samples online, I would definitely recommend checking out Elysium, but also Xerjoff in tandem, just because Neo and Elysium really have like 2 of the best bergamot notes that I've personally smelled in fragrances. Very bright, very refreshing. And this is another fragrance where I personally feel as though the citrus lasts a very long time, which is something that's really, really hard to come by. So now we're getting into the top 4, and I have to give props to my brother in this community. His name is Buck. He has a channel called Big Beard Business, and he worked on a fragrance for Navitus Parfums called Verve Matin. And here you have the aromatic properties, you have the laurel, you have the citrus, you have this creaminess in the base. This is such a nice fragrance. If you are looking for something very clean, very elegant, very polished at the same time, also very versatile in terms of occasions and seasons, but in my personal opinion, because of the citrus, I would prioritize wearing this one in the summertime, and because of that upscale quality about it, I can see myself wearing this one formally as well, but there's just something about it where I prefer to wear it casually because I just want to wear it all day long, and this is not the type of fragrance that I want to wait until that one special occasion to pull it out in, and so I find myself wearing this one quite often. The next one that I want to talk about is one that I have mentioned on my channel quite a number of times already. This one by the Parisian brand BDK Parfums is called Citrus Riviera. So obviously this is inspired by the French Riviera. You're going to get citrus in here. You're also going to get this aromatic herbal vibe in the mid. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Mandarino di Amalfi by Tom Ford, and that one contains shiso, which is related to basil and cilantro if I'm not mistaken. And so it kind of has like this herbal culinary vibe in here, but the citrus in here is very bright, very refreshing. I personally really enjoy this fragrance by BDK Parfums. I know this was released in tandem with Celle d'Argent, and so if you're looking for like a clean vetiver type of a fragrance, something a little salty as well, I think you'll enjoy that one, but I personally really enjoy this one, which is Citrus Riviera. The second to last fragrance that I want to talk about is by the company Parfum de Marly, and you guys know this is a favorite of mine. This is actually Sedley. So the thing with Sedley is that it's a really unique combination of citrus, but also some darker ingredients. So there's actually incense in here as well. I had the pleasure of interviewing Olivier Cresp, who is the perfumer behind this, and he actually had me smell the raw materials for Sedley, and it really just opened up my eyes to the complexity of the blend. Really, really love Sedley by Parfum de Marly. I've done a couple of videos on it, so I'm not going to talk on and on about it. But the number one spot, and to be honest with you, I love all of these, so this is really in no particular order, but one fragrance that I'm really, really enjoying, and I think I might end up purchasing it here today, is by Etat Libre d'Orange, and this one is You or Someone Like You. So this one has this very bright and refreshing mint note in it. So you get the mint, you get the citrus, and the mint on my skin lasts a very long time. I actually had a sample that was gifted to me. And so you have the citrus and mint combination, kind of putting you in the mindset of a mojito. And I was a little apprehensive at first because I have a lot of fragrances like that. I have an Hermes that has this mint and citrus vibe. I also have an Eau d'Italie fragrance called Acqua Decima that has a mint and citrus vibe. So I said, do I really need another one? And after I smelled it again here today, it just smells so natural, so organic that I was like, yeah, I gotta have this one. And so I personally really love this fragrance. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. If you are a fan of citrus, aquatic, summertime themed fragrances, you happen to be shopping online or in store at Perfumology, I would definitely recommend that you try these fragrances. I think there's a lot of variety here. And even though a lot of them were citrus leaning, you saw some with bergamot predominantly, you saw some with lime predominantly, you saw fragrances like Squid, which were more on the aquatic side of things. And so I really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you took something of value from this video. If you did and you're not subscribed, please make sure to show your support to this channel by subscribing to it. All you have to do is click on that red button in the corner. And of course, while you're at it, please be sure to enable notifications by clicking on the bell. Thanks again for watching. Love you all. We'll see you soon. Bye.